Hi, I'm Alan Austin Smith, and I'm the author of The Fantastic Hairdresser. So I guess I'm one of the best people to give you some tips and advice on how to enter the ALFAPARF Fantastic Hairdresser Business Awards. This particular award is the Fantastic Hairdresser. There's two business awards this year, the Fantastic Hairdresser and the Fantastic Salon. So let's have a little look at how you can enter this one. So first of all, we've got to think about why you want to enter it. Why should you enter this award? Well, to be honest, any award you enter, you want to win, but it's not just about winning. You see, there can only ever be one winner. But being a finalist is also brilliant. It means that the judges have recognised your efforts above so many others. Okay, you didn't win, but it's still brilliant to be a finalist. And if you are a finalist, that's still great PR in your local area and for your salon. But you know what? There can still only be so many finalists. What if you don't even make that? Well, you know what? These awards, like any awards you enter, they're great for learning because you will learn so much, first of all, perhaps about why you didn't make the finalists. But also you'll learn so much by just entering and going through the criteria. It's really well worth it. There's different reasons then that you're going to enter these awards. You want to win it, you want to be a finalist, or you're going to learn. But most of all, it's about whether you're passionate about being a fantastic hairdresser, whether you buy into the principle that being a good hairdresser is just not enough anymore, and that everything you're doing is gearing yourself to be the best at what you do, even if entering this competition is just part of the process. Well, the single criteria, the only thing that you've really got to think about first of all, is have you been qualified for 12 months up until July 2013? You have to have at least 12 months experience on the floor to enter this competition. Now, if you fit into all of those things, then let's go on, because it's very simple and very easy to put your entry together, and you never know. You could be sitting there crowned fantastic hairdresser of 2013. The criteria then. Let's have a little look at what you have to do. The Fantastic Hairdresser Award is based around the 7 characteristics of a fantastic hairdresser, which make up the book. Now, if you haven't read the book, trust me, it'll help you enormously if you get yourself a copy and go through it. But basically, when I wrote the book, I interviewed over 70 fantastic hairdressers. And from those interviews, I drew out what I call the 7 common characteristics of fantastic hairdressers. This is what they are: passion, delight, inspire. All fantastic hairdressers are passionate. They delight their clients. They inspire their customers. But they're also ambassadors for their salon, for themselves, and also for their industry. They're performers. They understand they're on stage. They're putting on a performance. They're taking action and making things happen. They're alive inside, and they're always, always learning. So let's just look at those in a bit more detail in terms of what we're looking for in the entry from you in these 7 areas. First of all, passion is simply your opening statement. Now, you've really got to put some thought into this, because this is the first thing the judges are going to see. This is your pitch. This is you saying, I think I should be the fantastic hairdresser. 500 words as a maximum. You don't have to use all 500 words, but you must make your case here and show us why you are so passionate about this industry and passionate about being a fantastic hairdresser. Now, delight is about your column, because that's where we see whether you're delighting your clients. Now, it's all very well to just write down that I delight my clients and they love me, but we need some evidence. So where's that evidence going to come from? What we need you to provide us with is information about your weekly client count, how many clients you're doing on average per week. We need to know how many of those clients are new clients coming to you, how many are requests, how many are actually asking for you, and then finally, how many of your clients are pre-booking. You see, that information shows us whether you're delighting people. You must provide that evidence. Inspire. Well, this is how you inspire your clients. Now, those of you that know the Fantastic Hairdresser well know about a simple principle that we call the perfect client. And that's where we actually measure how many people you are sending out the door that have had the perfect environment, the perfect visit in your salon. And we define that as someone with a great haircut, with color in it, who's got beautiful products at home that they're enjoying using, has had a gorgeous treatment in the salon, and has pre-booked their next appointment. If you are currently using the perfect client system in your salon, then we need to know how many perfect clients you're doing a week. If you're not using this system, then we need some extra information from you. How many of your clients a week are having color? How many have a treatment? And how many are buying ALFAPARF hair care products? Now, the ambassador. Are you an ambassador? Well, the perfect person to tell us that is your salon owner. So here we're looking for a statement from your salon owner, 400 words, explaining why they think you should win this award. But also, we want to know what your views are. What's your commitment to this business? What do you love about it? What do you think needs to change? Maybe you've got some ideas. It would be great to hear them. And then finally, who inspires you? We want to hear about 3 people, 2 from the industry at least, but 3 people that inspire you, that you take your motivation and inspiration from. Now, as a performer, what we're looking for here is to see whether you're taking action. You see, we can all talk a story, but we need to see whether you're actually doing this. So I want to know about what activities you're doing. What other things are you doing in this industry? You see, a fantastic hairdresser isn't just turning up to work and doing their clients and going home. They're involved in everything: photo shoots, shows, competitions, all sorts of things. But also, we want to hear from your clients. We want 3 testimonials. Now, be aware, we may check up on these testimonials, so make sure they're real. 3 testimonials from clients that can tell us a little bit about why they think you're such a great performer. Now, Alive Inside is about motivation. And so here we're looking about how you're motivating yourself to achieve your future. I always say your column is your future. Or what are you doing to make that come true? How do you motivate yourself? How do you keep yourself performing consistently at the highest level? What are your future goals? What are the things you want to achieve for yourself in the industry? And what action are you taking to achieve that? And then finally, this one, I guess, is a bit of it does what it says on the tin. The Fantastic Hairdresser is always learning. So here we want to hear from you about how you are developing yourself, what training you've done in the last 12 months, what courses, but not just courses in the industry, anything. We want to hear how you're developing yourself, what books you've read, what videos you've seen, what you do on YouTube perhaps, then you learn new stuff. Just let us know how you're developing yourself, but also tell us what your plans are for the next few months as well. The Fantastic Hairdresser is always learning. Okay, hopefully that helps you a little bit. This is all written down in the criteria, but I just wanted to hopefully help you understand this a bit more. Here's a few little entry tips to help you. First of all, think like a judge. It's not easy judging these competitions, and sometimes competitors don't make it easy for the judges. You know, when you've got a lot of entries to go through and you're wading through and you can't find the information you need, you know, make it easy. Think like a judge. Imagine you're judging your own entry. What would you want to see? Really fast, really quick. You'd want to see that the key criteria is covered. You'd want to know that the evidence is there. Make it easy for the judge. Number 2, your opening statement. I've already mentioned this. This is your pitch. It's got to be strong. Number 3, provide the evidence. I can't tell you how many times I've judged competitions like this and become so frustrated because I've got a great entry, but they haven't provided all the evidence, which means we can't mark it. How can you judge something if the evidence isn't there? Presentation. Be creative, make it look good, but at the same time, don't go over the top. Because if you think like a judge, I want to get to the information easily. But this is a creative industry. I don't want to be bored either. Make it interesting for me. And then finally, get your entry in on time. Be ahead of yourself. Start thinking about this now so that when it comes to sending off your entry, you're so ready, there's no stress, there's no pressure. If you fancy putting all that effort and energy into an entry like this, and then it not being judged because you didn't get it in on time. Finally, enjoy it. It's what the Fantastic Hairdresser is always about, whatever we do. If you've read the book, you know that my sign-off is always have fun. And so that's it from me. Enjoy it, have fun, enter it, have a go. At the very least, you will learn something about yourself. But you never know. You might be standing there as Fantastic Hairdresser of Ireland. How cool would that be? Have fun.